My name is Gerald Times. I'm an international chess player, formerly rated number 5 black chess player in the world. I will be doing commentary for Armageddon. I will be breaking down the players in terms of their strategy, their attacking ability, their defensive ability, and their psychology, as well as their body language. My job is to make a complex game simple. Chess is ultimately a fight, and therefore the name Armageddon is the perfect title for the show.
Lounge Armageddon show. Nadia Rasnier joining me, Gerald Times. We'll just take you through one of the Blitz games we have here. With the blue shirt we have Kim Zedig, and in the green shirt we have Silviano Jacobs. They're basically going head on head in the Armageddon show, and we'll unravel the game as it goes on. Gerald, over to you.
Yeah, we have two positional players, and when we say positional players in chess, we mean long-term strategic thinking and long-term strategic plans. The English opening was played by Silviano, and he responded in kind with what we call an E5, which is like a classical defense against the English opening.
That's brilliant. Just on the game itself, this, as I said before, it's a blitz game, so it's 3 minutes on either side for each player. Currently, they're playing quite comfortably. Both players, if you can read in their body language, seem confident. But as this game unfolds, we will probably see a bit more of the player's personality type in this kind of game. Is there anything more you could add to the?
Well, yes. Even though I would say that both are positional players, Silviano has been known to really be comfortable in certain tactical positions, meaning that when the game opens up, when the game becomes a bit wild, he also fancies those type of positions.
Okay, just on the board itself, I think that there's a positional advantage in playing white, as I've heard. Is there anything more you can tell us about the positional advantage on top of Silviano at this point in time?
Okay, most of the games that are won in chess are won by the white pieces. Playing white in chess is the equivalent of having the serve in tennis or having the ball in basketball. It means that you have a better chance of scoring the point.
Brilliant. Now, they both seem to be gridlock in a decision right here. Tell us a bit more about this board right now.
All right, so generally speaking, white has moved a little bit faster. Silviano has moved a little bit faster than Akeem. It means that he's probably more comfortable with his position. Whenever a player takes time in a 3 minutes game, you know that it's either they have great chances of winning or just the opposite. They can lose the game, and they must be careful.
Just a bit more about the players itself. I've just recently been told that Kim Zedig is actually a pilot. He's very young. He hasn't matriculated yet, so that's quite an achievement for a young man. Silviano being at CPUT and a bodybuilder. Once again, just attesting to chess being something that can translate into every aspect of your life. In this case, showing that they don't only have strengths in chess, but also other abilities in their life.
Yeah, chess definitely has transferable skills. 11th world champion Bobby Fischer has been noted to learn a language within 3 months. 7th world champion Smyslov was a opera singer. 6th world champion Botvinnik was a engineer, great mathematical ability. So there's a lot of transferable skills in the game.
Looking at the time, what would you say? Who's at this point in time on the stronger point?
As you can see, white has been moving steadily faster. He's gained a lot of time. You can see from the tightening of Akeem's body that he's a little bit more concerned about his position. Playing the English Open usually gives white a bit more space. And so it's harder to maneuver for the black pieces here. And because it's harder to maneuver, he's going to take more time.
Yeah, and we obviously see that because we're running against time, 3 minutes either side, a 6 minutes game, that not only will this bring out these skills of chess, but also the ability to be creative on the board. Right now, they seem to be comfortable, but I presume that with later in the game, we probably get a bit more intense. It's amazing what 3 minutes, in 3 minutes, decision making and processes that goes in the brain during this game.
Right, and in this particular case, white has just made a decision to go into the endgame. He wants to trade off the queens. So they're always kind of balancing these long-term plans. I mean, how do I look in the endgame, and how do I look right now?
Brilliant.
And within...
Akeem takes it.
He takes the queen, yes.
games seems to be speeding up right now.
A game is speeding up. White realizes that he's ahead in time. He wants to put a little bit more pressure on the black pieces. He has a superior position, not yet winning position, but a superior position, which means that his position is easier to play. If my position is easier to play, I can move faster.
19 seconds on the clock for Akeem.
Right, and you can see the time difference is vast. It's a minute left on one clock and 19 seconds left on the other. 17 now.
All right, let's see.
Again, black is aware that he's down on time, but he has to still play precisely in a given moment in a chess game. You can lose, if you lose material, it's the equivalent of sometimes losing the whole game.
Okay, it seems to really hasten up a lot now, and then obviously these are the last few seconds that really make or break for both Akeem as well as Silviano.
And showing you the discipline of Silviano, he's still taking, he's not moving too fast, he's moving fast, but making sure that his position holds.
Okay, now it's
yes, they're blitzing it out, as we would say.
Brilliant, and we probably just have a few seconds on that clock.
Yeah, and you can see from the body language.
Oh, well.
Oops.
There we go, game's over, but that was
so
fantastic.
Silviano wins, the green shirt wins.
Fantastic. Well, that was a fantastic play. Thank you very much. Hi, welcome to Africa Chess Lounge, Armageddon show. Nadia Russin here with joining me, Gerald Times. We'll take you through a blitz game. At this point, we have Silviano in the green T-shirt and Akeem Zedic in the blue shirt. A blitz game, as you know, or for those who don't know, it's a 3 minute on either side, so it's a very fast game. But over to Gerald to tell you a bit more about this.
All right, as you probably saw from the very beginning, from the very first shot, you saw the classic stare down that Silviano gave Akeem. Winning the first game, sometimes chess players do try to intimidate their opponents. I mean, chess is like anything else. If I can intimidate you, that's another way of gaining an advantage. This time, it's Akeem with the white pieces. White has the first move in chess, and again, having the first move is significant.
Yeah, it's significant as the first serve in tennis, I'm told.
Right, you have a greater chance of winning the point. And the key point is that psychologically it's easier to attack than it is to defend. One mistake in defense can end the game, but one mistake in attack merely means that I lose my advantage. But it doesn't mean that I lose the game.
This is a blitz game, obviously, and time is of aspect here, but we see them being a bit more relaxed and a bit more comfortable with their time. They've clearly got enough time here. But the body language, it's as you've just mentioned, is quite important in a blitz game because you can definitely detect the stronger players from the slightly less stronger players in this case. Your opinion on this game at this point in time, where do you feel?
Well, playing the white pieces, he didn't choose a very aggressive opening. I think he was still somewhat worried about the last game. How a player responds to a loss is very important. For example, 12th world champion Karpov, when he lost, he was happy merely to draw the next game. However, 13th world champion Kasparov, when he lost, he definitely wanted to win the next game. Akeem seems to be more in the Karpov school. He'll be happy with a draw in this particular game, but he's giving black a lot of a pretty aggressive position.
Talking about winning and losing, just for the viewers out there, the person who ever wins this game obviously goes to the next qualifying round, which makes this game absolutely important for the person because it's quite interesting to be the one that has the top honors in speed chess, and in this case we would be featuring it on TV, so there's a bit more to run on this.
Right. I mean, chess players pay probably for. By the way, this is a beautiful move right here. If he takes the rook, he'll be attacking the queen and threatening the king at the same time. It's interesting. Intermezzo, he distracts the queen away, so now the black queen is under attack. So I probably was the only move in the position. Queen goes back to defend the rook on the d3 square. He takes it with the bishop, but now black has a pretty good position, not a winning position for the sacrifice.
I see Akeem nodding his head, kind of saying, "Okay, well, I see what you've done. Let me rethink my position here."
Excellent interpretation. He says, "Okay, yeah, you sacrificed. You got a little play. I am ahead in material." And so this is a classic example. By the way, this is a mate threat. So whenever a mate threat is meaning I'm threatening to win the game in one move.
Wow.
So it is the biggest threat in chess.
And you could do this obviously.
Right, and you can see that the white pieces is taking time, a lot of time here.
Do you think time because they know that they're at the verge
I can lose the game in one move.
So I'd rather
I must respond, yes.
Use my time wisely.
Correctly.
Both very intensely looking at the clock and as well at the game.
And you can see the gap is a minute 30 seconds, significant.
That's significant, yeah. Yeah, his body language is definitely one under pressure right now.
Right, and the face and the vision shows that he doesn't enjoy the position.
Yeah, he's just indicated with the move of the hand that he's clearly
he's now down a piece.
Yeah.
And of course, Black doesn't mind trading off. And so he's down in position. He's also down in time.
All right, that was a lovely game.
Hi, I'm Sylviano Jacobs. I'm 19 years old. I'm from Atlantis, and I'm an avid chess player. I'm doing my second year in mechanical engineering at Cape Peninsula University of Technology. I'm also into bodyboarding. I started playing chess when I was 11 years old, got introduced to it by the means of draft, where I thought I'm gonna play draft, but actually started playing chess. Where I come from, chess is very slow. The development of chess is very slow, and I excelled over the years, and recently I've achieved my top.
Welcome to Baltimore Chess Club.
So my name is Ferdinand James Ventura. I am from Bonteheuwel, I'm a youth development facilitator. And this is my chess club I have over here. We call it Humble Beginnings, Chess Under the Trees. And I started the chess club because I realized that there are certain lacks and there's lack of activities for our kids to do. So I decided I wanted to do something that could draw the kids in, that they can have fun with, that can help them with calculus and with their maths and counting, that can help them with strategizing, and also to use the competitive energy, especially for those that is not inclined to want to swim or to play soccer or to play cricket, to play rugby. We've been actively busy with the chess club now for the last 3 months. So we are still right at the beginning, right at the inception phase of introducing the kids to the different ways of playing the game. One of the things I decided that I wanted to do was to create an environment, because there's so little platforms and other institutions and playgrounds that our kids can safely play at because of all the different vices and troubles we have in our community. Stuff like gangsterism and gang violence, stuff like abuse, stuff like kids going missing. So I decided I wanted to attempt as best as I can and make a practical and useful contribution to my community and our kids. So they are slowly but surely, they're starting to get a perception or an idea of how to play the game, and they know how to move, they know the special moves, they know how many blocks there are, they know how to start playing. And as with time, I hope to get them to a level where they can go and compete, where they can go and compete in the league, where they can compete nationally, and also where they can go and compete potentially internationally in the next 5 to 15 years time.
Welcome to Africa Chess Lounge, Armageddon show. Nadia Russin here in studio, joining me with Gerald Times. We're bringing you the chess game, the Blitz chess game between Daniel Barish, who's playing black, and Armini Dawood on the white side. They've already gone into the game, as we've seen with these two players. They're quite aggressive at the very beginning and then seem to take their time or taper off slowly to the end. Tell us a bit more about these tactics coming out.
All right, so we have a Nimzo Indian, E3 variation Nimzo Indian. Again, this is an opening that both players are quite familiar with. They played many times. This is a must-win situation for Amini. He's down a game. All Daniel needs is a draw to continue on into the next round. So it will always be interesting to see how the white player responds, being down a game.
Yeah, Armini once again being slightly more hesitant than Daniel in his moves. Obviously, Daniel feeling, you could sense he's slightly more confident because of the previous win, and the win was on time. Armini seems to be studying this board a bit more closely.
Exactly. But yet Daniel's taking a lot of time in this position. So maybe because he's up a game, he figures, hey, I can take a little bit more time here, but he has to be accurate now. You kind of want to knock your opponent out as soon as possible, ASAP.
Armini smiling. Why do we see this smile?
Well, I mean, I think he sensed some hesitation. I mean, it's not an immediate knockout or anything like that, but I think he sensed some hesitation.
I see both players smiling and looking at this game and studying this, and clearly there's some psychology behind the smile as well as the play and the board.
Well, we saw when one player dropped a piece, the other player was kind of admitting that I'm nervous in the position. I think he saw the hesitation on the part of Daniel. And he said to himself, okay, Daniel's a little bit nervous in this position. So it's a psychological edge. It may not really mean anything in terms of the actual outcome of the game, but it is a psychological edge.
But psychology does play in the mind, and this being a game of the mind, it will play out somewhere in the game, as you could see personality slowly coming through here. But at this point in time, it doesn't seem to be a threat for Daniel, showing a bit of nervousness.
Correct.
I mean, he did a bit of an eyebrow move there. He's probably intrigued by Daniel's movements.
Well, yes. I mean, again, they went into a end game, but it appears that White has an easy end game to play. He has more space. He has more development. And so now Daniel has to play this game accurately.
Just Daniel playing with black pieces before, or as a player, is he a strong black player?
I think Daniel I think Daniel is a strong black player, but at the same token, this is not a position per se. I think that Daniel wants to play. It's a much easier position for Amini here.
Yeah, and obviously, being a blitz game, it's not just position and it's time, position, and strategy, as well as moves on board.
Correct.
He seems a bit worried at this point in time, studying the game, as you can see. Armini, obviously, you can see that he's a bit more comfortable after the previous move.
Right, and again, there's still a lot more pressure on the white pieces. All black needs to do is draw this position to continue on into the next round. But again, if this was a tournament game, I would take the white pieces here.
Okay, we just about over 1 minute on time for both players. Daniel, once again, seemed to be much slower this time around in making decisions. Let's see how Armini responds to that.
And as you can see, Amini has a space advantage.
He does have a space advantage.
And he has a.
Okay, we just. All
right, so now they're moving a little faster. So now he's going to probably try to enter the rook into the 7th rank, or even definitely checks first, and then he goes into the. Now he's trying to get his rook into the 7th rank with the threat of to win a pawn.
Okay, and how do we weigh up the scales now? Who at this point in time could we think could be the obvious winner?
Definitely the advantage. White has what we call the aggressive rook in this position. Is definitely the advantage is to the white pieces.
And this would be Armini. So we're watching this game intensely. And
right. And as you see, the time is speeding up, which means that it's Daniel that has to play accurately here.
Yeah, and less time is taken on the board to study it. More time is taken to just get the moves right.
again, we're in that time of the game where we have to do two things. He has to defend the white position, and he has to attack the black position.
Okay.
So he's up in material, which means that if he's going to try to create a pass pawn here, and one of these pawns, the G pawn or the H pawn.
Okay, we just.
All right, so now we have an interesting end game here.
And we're moving just under 20 minutes to both sides.
20 seconds.
20
yes.
seconds, sorry.
And it's Amini that's taking more time, even though he has a winning, apparently a winning position.
We have very little pieces on this table.
Oh, look at this.
This
look
is
at
crazy. This is madness.
Look
What's
at this. Now
happening?
we have a queen advantage we have a queen against a rook advantage here.
Weigh it up in 2 seconds.
Yeah, look,
What do you think? What do you
2
think?
seconds. He's going to try to win this game on time.
This being
Okay, it's almost checkmate position. Checkmate in 1. Look at this.
fantastic.
With 2 seconds left on his clock, he executed. Now the score is 1-1. Daoud wins the game.
He's clearly.
His smile on
He's
his
clearly.
face, the smile on his face tells you how close it was. Amazing.
Brilliant. Brilliant.
Hi everybody, I'm Daniel Barish. I'm a chess player. I play chess because it's fun, as has been proved to improve your marks by up to 20%. Amongst my other achievements, my greatest achievement has been that I've drawn to my great chess idol, Garry Kasparov. I go to Sachs Junior School, I'm a FIDE master, and I'm going to win this tournament.
Welcome to Africa Chess Lounge, Armageddon game, bringing you the Blitz game between Daniel Barish and Armini Dawood. Once, as before, these two just get into it, they go at it full steam, and then we obviously see a bit of play coming out. This time we've got Daniel playing white pieces and Dawood on the black. Over to you, Gerald Times.
All right, so this is the big game, right? This is the tiebreaker. Whoever wins this game goes on into the finals. So this is the semifinal match. They'll get to play James. Again, Amini has changed his defensive sequence because he lost before. Even though he was winning over the board, he actually lost before. So now he's choosing a different opening.
Yeah, we can see the big difference in time between Armini and Daniel. Daniel obviously having advantage of time on his side as well as being opening with the white pieces.
Right. I actually don't think it was necessarily wise. I mean, he actually had a better position in the previous game, so it wasn't necessary for him to change his opening. I think this opening suits Daniel finally.
Yeah, I see Daniel seems a bit more comfortable, slightly more aggressive. Armini's picking up the pace slightly more. But once again, the same typical mannerisms of studying the game and then making the move. This being a blitz game, the expectation is for them to play slightly more quicker and use time management skill to execute their plans.
Right, and so I mean, I think he's kind of walked into White's plans. I mean, this appears that this is everything that Daniel wants. If I were Amini, I would have gone into the position, same opening I played last time. Even though I lost, I would have remembered I only lost on time. I didn't actually lose over the board.
And maybe just from my thought, maybe Armini's thinking, well, let me not show him something that he's seen. Maybe an element of surprise to throw him off a bit. But let's see how the game unfolds. We still have
correct. That's probably. But one thing we know about these young players these days, I mean, Daniel's quite prepared. This kid, he knows a lot about chess.
He does. I mean, anyone that I suppose that goes up against Kasparov should know a lot about chess, and he really is one of our slightly younger heroes in chess.
Definitely, and he's one of South Africa's hopes of being a title player, IMGM. I mean, that's his ambitions.
Just on time again, we see Armini suffering under time here. Daniel knowing that he's up on time, but still very intensive looking. Daniel probably worried about his next move, but pretty comfortable, I would say.
Exactly. I mean, he is comfortable in this position. He has an open position. I think Daniel likes to play open positions. As I mentioned before, I believe that he is a dynamic player. He is an attacking player. And now he's bringing a key piece into the game. He wants to bring a knight maybe to the d7 square.
Yeah.
All right. So now we have the black knight coming into the game. We don't know if he wants to sack it on g4, create some counterplay.
Yeah, as you can see, Daniel going forward and basically taunting Tomini to come out a bit. This is what we see. Armini responding in that way. Still just over 20 seconds for Armini. Daniel, comfortable time.
Right, and not really creating any problems. Okay, we do have a mate threat here, though. I mean, he is going to have to respond to the mate threat.
Daniel slightly hesitant at this move, but enough time to actually make decisions. Armini's very quick. He knows he's got the time.
Exactly, precisely.
Similar to what he's done in the previous game, rushing against the time and just trying to make the best of the time he has available to him.
And Daniel, for young players, shown remarkable poise here.
Remarkable poise. His strength just through his smoothness of playing.
Exactly,
is
very
amazing.
steady. His moves have been very steady. He's not rushing the position. He's showing patience, which is not often accredited to young players, but he's showing a lot of patience in this position.
And patience in this game is strength.
Correct.
We have just under 3 seconds, 2 seconds left on the clock, 1 second left on the clock for Armini. What do we think is going to happen in this last few seconds while we've got it there?
Yes. And again, Daniel wins this position, that he wins the match 2-1. Armini was ahead in the position, but he was down in time, could not execute in time. This is a disappointing loss for Armini, but a great victory for Daniel Barish.
Brilliant.